This is the Son of the Law podcast. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Son of the Law podcast. I am your host, Jay Christopher. And joining me in the studio today, we have two very lovely young ladies, Maryanna Bolinger and Olivia Gilliam. Welcome, ladies.
Hello again.
Hello again. Yes, Maryanna, you had joined us right before Christmas, I think it was.
Yes.
You and Olivia Rubsum,
Yes.
not Olivia Gilliam. That's always a challenging one.
It gets confusing in our friend group.
Yes. Do you have different names for different Olivias?
I feel like most people call me Liv and her Olivia,
Yeah.
but it's not less confusing. We both respond to both, so
Yeah. Sometimes it's just Gilliam and Rubsum.
yeah.
Okay. I'm a big fan of OG.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like the original
Yeah.
Olivia Gilliam.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fantastic. A play on words.
It is. Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys are like third chair's like, wait, who is in the studio? Let me introduce you. You've met Maryanna. She's my oldest daughter. And just if you didn't get to know Maryanna on the first time, maybe you'll get to know her a little differently this time. Super compliant, firstborn female. Very rules oriented, which I think will manifest itself in our conversation today because the topic that we'll be discussing is sort of counter the type of person that most of us know Maryanna to be.
Very much so.
Yeah. But, that's not all she is. She's ambitious, confident, and all these things happen in school, work. She faces new challenges with eagerness and optimism. She's focused. She's become a hobbyist. And I don't know that, she's eyeballing me.
What do you mean by that?
Your hiking and trip planning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She kind of gets into new things and then goes all in. Like a borderline obsesses over it.
I get that from you.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And but anyway, regardless, I'm proud of you and I love you.
Thanks.
This is exciting to have you on the show again. Olivia Gilliam,
Yes.
OG,
Mm-hmm.
daughter of Jesse and Deanna Gilliam, whom you all met in our episode 0002,
Yes.
a Hallmark movie. There was a question mark on the end of it,
Mhm.
so I had to raise my voice a little bit at the end. Did that come through?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see you, so it's hard to tell.
That's true. Almost lifelong friends with Maryanna, and we've been family friends for 15 plus years,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, to talk about Olivia first, and then we'll talk maybe more about everything else. Athletic and accomplished young lady, on and off the court, fiercely competitive, smart. You kind of like achieve everywhere you go, which is super cool. And then you're working on your own Hallmark movie now, yes?
Oh yeah.
Planned
getting
wedding in
married.
2025.
Yes.
May?
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here. And then I'd also say that this is exciting just to have you two on the show because I have watched you both grow up. It's really been a special relationship. Kindergarten friends.
I tell people that Liv came to my 6th birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Like at school, we go to school together and people meet her and meet me. And I'm like, oh yeah, we've been friends our entire life. She came to my 6th birthday party.
Yeah.
Not 6th grade.
We need to look back and see if we can find a picture for the gram so that we can promote this episode with that
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
picture like that. That'd be good. But I have just great expectations for both of you. Sitting here in the room with you, talking about your life and what things are going for you, and it's just so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's let you introduce yourselves. Got a couple rapid fires here. How might people know you? Tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe what's going on in your life, and then what's like life away from our sleepy little town. You guys look forward to coming home?
Yes. I can start.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Jay Christopher's oldest daughter. We've already established that. I am a sophomore at Northwest Missouri State University, majoring in public accounting and business management. I am really involved in the Lighthouse, which is our campus ministry at Northwest. And yeah, I'm always excited to come home. This last semester was a lot for me. I put too much on my plate. And so Christmas break was much needed this year. And it's been wonderful to be at home and not do anything.
Sweet. And what's something you're working on right now to develop or improve yourself?
Right now, I've been reading a lot of books. I have always loved reading, but this last semester, I've tried to be more intentional about finding time to read. And I've read more nonfiction than I ever have before. I just finished a book called...
So fiction is false.
Yeah, like stories.
Right. Nonfiction is not false.
It's true.
It is true.
Yeah.
And it is like, what are you reading about?
I've been reading a lot of Christian books. I just finished a book on negotiation, and I've been kind of looking for opportunities to negotiate everywhere in my life, which has been really interesting. And I'm getting ready to read a book on management.
Okay. Interesting reading for fun about negotiation.
Well, the first half was for a class, but then I really enjoyed the book, so I finished it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How about you, Olivia?
I am a junior at Northwest. I'm a history education major.
History education.
Yes, high school. I would like to teach world history or economics. I play a lot of sports. That's what I love to do. I play a lot of volleyball. Weightlifting, that's kind of a new thing.
I like powerlifting.
No, just in the gym. I don't really know what powerlifting is.
Okay.
So
I have a lady who cleans my teeth. She
Nice.
is a she's a
Good for you.
she's a bodybuilder.
Okay, yeah.
And there's like 6 different levels of fitness training and modeling.
I'm number 1.
Okay.
Level
That's the
first.
bikini class.
Yeah, that's me.
Bikini class.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Whoa, no.
Well, I'm just saying that's what it is. It's like bikini class, and then there's one after that. That's the one that she's in.
Mm.
She was telling me this the other day when she was cleaning my teeth, and it really wasn't awkward at all.
Oh,
But
I would really think that was.
she said,
creepy.
I try to compete in the bikini class, but I can't because my legs are too defined.
Oh.
That's
And
a terrible
so-
problem to have.
Yeah, that's not really my problem. I don't have that problem.
Yeah, she said, I can't, I get in trouble by the judge. Well, I don't get in trouble. She's like, the judges, they don't like my legs.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, you look at this girl, she's like tiny and strong and
Yeah.
everything. And I'm like, I don't get it. So,
I don't know.
so you're not
No.
competitively moving in this capacity.
No. Landon, my fiance, he lifts all the time. And so he's trying to teach me things.
Really?
Yes.
What are you
That's
learning now?
Proper
Do you
squat form.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just PR'd and squat.
What is a proper squat form, and what is a good PR for you?
I'd have to probably demonstrate that form.
That's difficult.
Sorry.
That's difficult to do
Yeah.
on this format.
Yeah.
How much do you squat?
Well, this time I squatted 225. That's a
225
PR.
lbs. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Thanks.
Wow. How's life like away from our sleepy little town? And then do you look forward to coming back?
Yeah. Life in Maryville is awesome. I love Lawson, but I have so many good friends in Maryville and wonderful community just within the lighthouse. Same as Maryanna. And I live with 2 of my best friends, Olivia Rupsum and then Katie, who I've lived with forever. And so it's just really fun to be up at school, and I love doing fun things.
Did you know that 63% of the population of the United States is incorporated places of 50,000 people or fewer?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And like 70% of those incorporated places are 5,000 people or fewer.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So almost half the population of the entire United States looks like Lawson and now
It's
Maryville.
better.
It's
Small town's
Maryville.
better.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I love
It's great.
it.
So you talk about life away from here and how much you love Maryville
Yeah.
and the cozy atmosphere there.
Yep.
There's literally thousands of small towns all across the United States that can give everybody those same feels.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's optimal.
Yeah.
What's something you're working on right now to maybe develop and or improve yourself?
I'm kind of doing a lot of things with wedding planning and working in school and stuff. And so I'm not really a procrastinator necessarily, but I like kind of get overwhelmed with things. So right now I'm
Are
trying
you a
to.
perfectionist?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand that procrastination comes with perfectionism. It's like you don't want to do it until you're 100% ready to do it perfectly.
I wouldn't say I'm like that necessarily.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't like to put things off because it makes me more stressed. But most things I do, like I can do decently. I don't feel like I need to like learn a bunch. These things, the things that I'm doing.
Okay.
You know, I mean, with weightlifting and stuff, yeah, probably a little bit that putting it off because I'm not good at it. But
who isn't?
Yeah. But with like wedding planning and stuff, right now I'm trying to make lists and then like complete them quickly to help myself.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right. You guys ready for some rapid fire questions?
I think so.
Yes.
All right. Team crunchy, team creamy.
Crunchy.
Creamy. I know, it's so bad.
You are the reason your father went off.
And I had a conversation with him the other day about this. I feel like I need to get this off my chest. I'll do it quickly. I told him that crunchy is just creamy with crunches in it. That it seems like the creamy would be the default. Because if you didn't blend crunchy all the way, it wouldn't have giant chunks like it does. So I think creamy is the OG. And we asked my Papa John. He said he only remembers creamy when he was a child. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, I got to get John on the show now. I've talked.
All the
Good
Gilliam.
luck, sir.
Oh, I don't know. I think we'd be in for a treat if we could do that.
Yes. Okay, now we'll go quick. I'm sorry.
All right. What would you do differently if you knew no one would ever judge you for it?
I don't know. I've pondered this. I don't know how to answer it. I don't really care what people think in general. I mean, genuinely, I cannot think of anything that I would do differently. I just kind of do whatever anyway.
Hey, live your life in a way that's transparent. I love it.
Yeah.
Nana?
I also was thinking about how to answer this question, and I couldn't really think of an answer. I'm kind of like Liv in the way that I like don't care about what people think, but there are some things that I do want people to like approve of, I guess. I guess maybe a base answer is like sometimes I enjoy sleeping with my socks on.
Oh, God.
No.
That bothers me. That just bothers me.
Well,
I like that answer.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of controversial.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But the socks can't be like too tight though. Like if this is maybe weird, but if they're like too tight, then I wake up and my ankles have like lost some circulation and I take them off and there's like indentations. You know what I'm talking about?
I guess that
So you
seems
need
pretty
old
tight.
socks? Only sleep in
But-
old socks.
I suppose, or like looser socks.
Okay.
I have like athletic socks. They're like really tight and I have some looser ones. Bro.
That's all I have to say about that. All right. If your life was a book, what would the title of this chapter be and why?
Again, the books that I read aren't like super creative. I'm not a very creative person. And so this chapter might just be like Home for Christmas or something because I've done nothing with my life for 2 weeks and it's been wonderful.
You know, I was reading something recently that talked about how the week between Christmas and New Year's is where the ultimate sloth
Yeah.
is living its best life or her best life.
Because
Makes
everyone's
sense.
full of cheese. No one knows what day or time it is. Have you seen these on Instagram?
What? Jeez. Okay.
Everyone is full of cheese. Okay, let's go.
Have you seen that on Instagram?
Oh my gosh. So everyone's full of cheese.
Full of cheese. No one knows what day or time it is until New Year's Eve, and then everyone like gets back on the
12:01.
train.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
their resolutions.
Oh, that's fine. How about you?
I was thinking more in a broad sense. I would say this chapter for me is like adventure because I feel like I've done so many things in the past year and just huge changes in my life. So it's like a whirlwind of chaos. Maybe
Sure.
that's a better title.
Whirlwind of chaos.
Yeah.
I like that.
There we go.
What is something that you've been putting off doing?
Not that I've been putting it off. It just like hasn't happened yet. But I have been trying to open a Roth IRA account for literally 2 or 3 months at this point and just haven't done it yet.
That's a good answer.
I need to do that today.
That's
And
fantastic.
I've said that every
Today's the
day
day.
for months.
Thank you. Wow. That's honest.
Well, I couldn't think of anything else to say.
I don't think there's many 20-year-old females out there going, I really need to open that IRA.
Well,
That's great.
That's Maryanna.
public accounting.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, OG?
I have a book that I'm supposed to read for my history of Germany class in the spring, and I don't want to do it.
The History of Germany.
Yes, that's my class.
Okay.
The book it's a good book. It's not hard, but I just don't want to do it.
You know, I can't for the life of me think of anything significant that ever happened in Germany.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh.
Coming from a World War II buff. Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Is cereal soup?
No.
No.
Okay. Is it ever acceptable to put pineapple on pizza?
No.
I actually prefer it that
Oh,
way.
no.
Is it better to shower in the morning or at night?
Depends on what you have going on that day.
Night every time for me.
Okay. Is it soda or pop?
Pop.
Pop, I think.
Do you fold or crumple your toilet paper?
Crumple.
I'm a crumpler.
Okay. Folding? That takes too much time.
Why are you looking
Wait,
at us
I'm just
that way?
looking at
I'm
two,
very efficient.
two crumples.
Yeah, crumple.
2 crumples.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No.
Are cats secretly plotting against us?
No.
No.
Should ketchup be kept in the fridge or the pantry?
Fridge.
What before it's opened?
No.
Before it's open in the pantry.
Yeah,
yes.
refrigerate after opening.
Yes.
Okay.
But some people don't do that.
Yeah.
They just always keep it in the pantry. And I think that is psychotic.
Agreed.
This is why we're such good friends.
Yeah.
Is
here.
it more satisfying to peel an orange in one go or a banana?
Orange?
Orange all the way.
Have you ever peeled an orange?
One time.
I was going to say the clementines, those little cuties, those are easy to peel
Yeah.
the whole thing.
And
Yeah.
it's so satisfying every time. I did it yesterday. I was proud of myself.
Is it weird to sleep with socks on?
No.
Very.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You have to have some form of temperature regulation away from socks and the covers.
But when the house is as cold as you keep it, I have to do whatever is necessary
Ooh.
to keep myself warm.
Sleep studies suggest that 65 degrees is the optimal.
Too bad
Temperature.
it's 61 in the basement.
It's not 61 in the basement.
Okay.
You all are getting savage. You're getting savage nanners right now, and I don't know what to do with it. I might cut this out.
You shouldn't.
Is it okay to wear the same outfit 2 days in a row?
If no one's going to see you in it, if no one that you saw the first day will see you the second day, yes.
What about the same pair of jeans?
Yeah.
I do that all the
I
time.
wore these yesterday.
I wore these yesterday.
Oh, we give zero cares.
Yeah.
Is it possible to ever have too much cheese? I already know Nana's take on this.
I'd say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
She's full of cheese.
Well, I asked your dad what he does if he's got 3 hours on alone. He wants a block of cheese the size of a car battery. That's a lot of cheese, dog.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she thinks there's too much.
Yeah. It's unreal.
All right. So let's segue here into while we're ultimately here to chat. Let's talk about skydiving. You ladies, you jumped out of a plane. Was
We
it
did.
cool?
It was.
Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I would do it again.
Which is crazy. I want to go through that because there's a lot of people, and I'm sure you all have actually, now that you've told several people that let's just put my theory to test before I tell you what the theory is. As you've told people you've skydove, what is it?
I have
went
no
s-
I
idea.
don't know.
You went skydiving as
Yeah.
you've told people this?
Yeah.
Do they say, oh, I've always wanted to do that?
Yes, most of the time.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Yeah. How many people have said, I've done that and it was amazing versus like if you had to say, what's the proportions, the ratio of people who said, I went skydiving and it was awesome, or I've always wanted to do that?
I've talked to probably like 30 people about it, and I've had one person say that they've been.
And everybody else has been
Say
like,
they
wish they wanted to go.
I mean, a small number say they would never go, but most people say they wish they could or want to.
Yeah.
I agree. I think I've only had one person tell me that they went and that it was awesome.
Yeah.
Two people. But most of the people I've talked to, I've always wanted to do that and I never have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was how I got and ultimately got to the point where I wanted to chat with you all about this, because that has been my experience as well. You go out and do something that other people have said, I really want to do that. Sometimes they just don't do it. And so if there's a takeaway, if there's some inspiration from this episode,
Mm-hmm.
it is go do it,
Mhm.
right? Like go do that thing that you've been putting off. Go do that thing that you want to do. Try to make it happen, right? That was one of the ways I initially tried to look up maybe ways we'd tease this topic. And I just said, I did a Google search. And actually I chatted with Becky Harold about this a little bit. Just said, what would you do? What's something you've always wanted to do that you just haven't done? And, the interwebs populated a list of things, traveling the world, start a passion project, get in shape, learn a new language, take more risks, live more mindfully or meditate, read more books, start saving or investing more. Nana's got that, figure that out.
Almost haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Today.
Quit bad habits, spend more time with loved ones. There's another, half a dozen here, and it's a really comprehensive and I think quality list. But, and while skydiving isn't on there, take more risk is in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, people often talk about taking more risks, whether it's moving to a new city, changing careers, starting a new relationship. But the comfort or stability or fear of failure holds them back. Or in the case of skydiving, fear of dying.
Yeah.
Or, they just think that's too crazy. I'm never going to do that. But not you guys. So how did you guys get to the point where you said, I want to go skydiving?
I have always wanted to go since I was littler. This is kind of confusing. My grandma's sister's daughter is like a certified skydiver.
Oh,
and
wow.
she's done it, I don't know, like 500 times or something.
Wow.
And so she always said she would take me. And my family just kind of does fun things like that. I've traveled and, I just feel like we do adrenaline seeking things. And so I've always wanted to go. And then the story for how we did is coming, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. We had a friend from a ministry in St. Joe. His name was Brian. He was hanging out with us. We were all talking after volleyball, and he was like, I want to go skydiving. There were me and Liv and a couple of other people were standing in a circle, and he was like, you guys want to go? And I didn't really want to, but I was getting FOMO because I was standing there in the
What is FOMO?
fear of missing out.
Okay.
I was standing there in the circle and everyone else was telling him to put me in the group chat and I want to go. I want to do that. And I was like, well, I'm standing right here. It wouldn't hurt to be in the group chat. So they put me in and they were like trying to plan a date. I didn't think they would actually do it. And then they picked a day And I was like, oh, shoot, I'm busy that day. I can't go.
Darn.
Crazy.
So I'm in Maryville while all of my friends are down in Kansas City, and they ended up getting rained out for, just bad weather. And I got a text from Liv, actually, that afternoon that said, you could go with us now, ... with a smirky face emoji.
And I don't even think I knew that you didn't want to go. I wasn't involved in that initial conversation. I just got put in the chat because I always said I wanted to. So I was kind of in and out too. And my mom convinced me to go. And I was like, okay, just because I didn't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
And then, I didn't know you were so like, I don't really want to go. So I texted you just because I was like, oh, you were in the chat and now you could go.
Yeah.
And Maryanna was like, oh my, okay, I guess I'll think about
Now
it.
I have to go.
Yeah.
Well, it was like, I guess not that I was like anti-going. I've just never had an interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's too crazy for me. I don't want to fall out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with
It's
not
reasonable.
going. Yeah, I'm just good with not going. And then Liv texted me that, and I signed up more out of like, I want to be with my friends than actual wanting the experience.
Which is an interesting motivation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
I've
I'm hearing
always
kind of
been-
some of the same vibes from you, Olivia. There's a desire to do it and the desire to say yes and say, I want to go. And then there's the desire to be with your friends, to be in community and
Experience it
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely more about experiencing it with my friends and with the people I loved than actually doing it.
That's awesome. Okay. Did you ever ask yourself, what if I die?
I mean, yeah. I didn't never really get nervous about it, but I did think like if I died, hugged my family before I left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You have to,
We actually joked, like before we went up in the plane, we were like, I wonder if we both die if Lawson Baptist would do a joint funeral service for us.
Oh,
Like
wow.
that's like morbid joking, but
That's a
bad
terrible joke.
Yeah.
I'm now wondering the same thing.
Yeah. I think they would.
Like, would we have done it like an economy of scale? Do you do an economy of scale for?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
That means like it's cheaper to do 2 for 1.
Oh, for sure.
Probably.
And I wish you would.
It'd be kind of fun for us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dark. That's fantastic. So how long from the time you guys decided to go to the actual time that you went?
Got
it a
rescheduled
month?
by 2 weeks-ish. So yeah, probably about a month.
Okay,
was
so you
2
had
weeks for
time.
me.
You had time to think through it and decide not to do it.
Yeah.
And then you still said, "I'm doing it."
Yeah.
Okay. Any physical, medical requirements you had to meet before jumping?
I think it was a weight limit of 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
think
but I think that was it.
Yeah. I think it might have maybe been more than that, but around there, yeah.
200 or 220.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's alienating for a guy like me.
Bro.
I'm like, I can't jump out of a plane now.
Dang it.
Mm. New Year's is coming. That'll be my resolution.
There you go.
Meet the flight and wait for jumping out of a plane. How did you manage any nerves or fears as you were leading?
Yeah, so Liv and I are kind of like an anomaly, I guess. Not an anomaly, but like we are very similar in a lot of ways. We get like we're both confrontational and like assertive and all of these things, but I'm driven by fear and Liv is fearless.
Oh.
I'm taking this information off of Enneagram knowledge. And so the whole time I was like anxious, my legs tapping. I'm like
Holding my
squeezing her
hand.
hand in the plane. And she's like, it's fine. I don't know what you're. I actually got in the plane. There's like 2 benches that were like parallel with the sides of the plane. And we all slid in like back to back with people. And when we got in the cabin, my leg was bouncing so much that the entire plane cabin was shaking. And the instructors were like, somebody's nervous. But
It was
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I was like holding Liv's hand.
Did you have to take any safety courses or anything like that before you jumped?
They had a 15-ish minute video you have to watch. Honestly, it didn't explain much. I don't feel like whenever you get harnessed in by your tandem guy, he kind of explains the safety stuff, like where you're supposed to hold on, what you're supposed to do with your legs, that kind of thing.
Okay.
The safety stuff wasn't as intensive as I thought it was going to
No,
be. It was
honestly.
literally like, here's this video. Your instructor is going to do these things. Here's where you should put your arms when you're free falling. That was about it.
And honestly, I really did not feel super prepared. I mean, I just trusted the guy I was with, kind of.
Kind of.
But I kind of was thinking, I really don't know what I'm supposed to do with my legs and arms.
Yeah, so let's talk about that a bit, right? I mean, some of this, because they do it tandem so that you don't have to do the thinking, right?
Yeah.
You're putting a tremendous amount of trust in the equipment and the person.
Yes.
So let's just maybe take that for a spin, if you will, and say, let's talk about the staff. Were they more or less professional, or were these like Point Break types? You know what Point Break is?
Yeah.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big.
Love
You know what Point
Swayze.
Break is? Patrick Swayze and Keanu
I've
Reeves.
heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I've wanted to watch it for a while.
So effectively, they're just a thrill-seeking group of like partying
Okay.
20-year-old guys and
Surfers.
surfers. They jump out of planes. I mean, they're just
Crazy.
crazy.
Okay.
And so,
I felt like my guy was the Point Break dude a little bit. He didn't seem super concerned with like making me feel comfortable or like I knew what I was doing or knew what was going on. I kind of would. There were 2 planes that went up, and he told me we were in the first plane. We were actually in the second plane, so I thought the plane was leaving without me. It was kind of a mess. I had to keep asking him questions like, some of my friends said that they needed to do this. Am I supposed to do that? He's like, yeah. I was going to tell you that. You know, I just kind of felt like, I don't know I don't feel good about this necessarily. And then the thing that kind of tipped me over the edge, I was standing next to him, and he said, he was giving me instructions. He said, okay, when I tap your legs, then you can, do this with them. When I tap your arm, you can do this. And then he said, when I slap your butt, that's just for my pleasure. And yeah, that was crazy. So after he said that, I didn't say anything, should have, but I felt, conflicted and not confident in his abilities. Yeah, to just be professional, like you said.
Yeah, let's unpack that a bit. So so I'm now thinking about this a couple of different ways. One, the dad in me, whose daughter is, going to trust her life in the hands of some person,
Random person.
And the tandem jumpers, were there any females leaders? I say it's random guys, but I'm sure there's probably girls too.
There was one woman there.
Who had somebody in tandem with her? Yeah. So I was thinking, just stereotypically, some random guy is going to strap himself
right
in this harness or whatever. They're going to jump out of a plane together and whatever. He better make dang sure my daughter is comfortable, is feeling safe, is feeling, like trusting, cared for, Yeah. And so there's that side of me now that hears that side of the story. And I'm thinking, I want to slap him sideways and, and so, I mean, you talk about being conflicted there. You're literally about ready to jump out of a plane. And now you're kind of like, wait a second.
Yeah. What do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I, say something to him, like, that's not appropriate. I don't want you to talk to me like that, which I should have said. Then I would not have peace of mind because he's keeping me safe. If I get hurt, he gets hurt, but still, I didn't want to be afraid going up there as if I'd like provoked him,
Right. Well, and you can't, I mean, I've learned enough about some of these things to know that what you should have said or done is inconsequential, right?
Yeah.
That was completely unprofessional. He should never have done that.
Yeah.
And, like I expect better. I'm just saying, I just expect better. I expect more of a young man who's going to put himself in that situation and whatnot. And even if he thought it was going to be funny, like that's not funny. There's a lot of other ways to be funny, and that's not it.
I did a summer missions thing all summer, 2 months, and I had a lot of kind of unsolicited comments like that from older men, like 70s and up,
Mm-hmm.
who I think and the guy that I skydived with was probably 50. I
Okay.
think, I don't know, this is not a generalization necessarily, but I think some people, with age think they have the opportunity to say the things they want to especially young women.
Mhm.
And yeah, this is not supposed to be all dramatic, but I felt uncomfortable for a lot of my summer as well.
Yeah.
Just like, why are you saying that?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well-
think it will be something we have to deal with, but that's all right.
Right. No, it is. And it's a good learning experience,
Yeah.
right? And it's something to say, okay, yeah, that didn't go the way that I thought it should have gone. So I'll handle it maybe differently next time.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean, I just say anybody who's listening to this, right? It's never your fault if somebody decides to say something like that. That's on them.
Mhm.
So, well, that got real serious real quick there, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, let's jump back in. So you're strapped in.
Mm-hmm.
What does strapped in mean?
Yeah. So we did the safety video, 15-minute thing, and then we went back out to this barn warehouse where we checked in and all the things, and our instructors had set up our harnesses on the floor. And so we met our instructor for the first time. My guy was nice. I am really sorry to have that experience.
good.
but
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't get that experience from you at all.
No,
it was
yeah.
just
My
super chill. He was
instructor-
good.
It's awesome.
My instructor was super nice, made sure I was comfortable the whole time. The only time was when we were in the plane, I was sitting next to Liv, and her instructor was messing with me. Like, my instructor slid my harness straps off my shoulders and was like, "Oh, that's not supposed to fit like that. You got one that's too big. It's too late to turn around now." And I was just freaking out. Liv was laughing at me, and I was like, okay, they're kidding, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
So we got out of the safety video. They had our harnesses on the floor. We met our instructor. Our instructor harnessed us up. We weren't actually strapped to our instructor until 2 minutes before we jumped out of the plane. When we got in the plane, we sat in front of them in between their legs. And then the pilot, when we were in the sky, the pilot was 2 minutes, and our instructors started strapping us and buckling things. And I didn't feel trapped, or
Yeah.
I didn't really notice the fact that I was strapped to another person really at all, because
Yeah.
I wasn't outside of when I was actually in the sky, really.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's how harnessing worked. And then as soon as we hit the ground, they pulled a cord and we were detached again. So
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any aspect of the training that surprised you or more intense than you expected?
I was actually surprised at how chill it was.
Really?
Yeah, like I said, I really feel like I had no idea what was going on. And I don't know if that was my instructor or the thing, but the safety video, I feel like I didn't learn anything.
the safety video was really most of the video was a demo of what it would look like if you chose to purchase the video that goes along with the jump. The majority of the safety part was this is what your instructor's going to do. You put your arms here and you put your legs here. You're supposed to be in imagine a banana shape, your arms are back behind your head, your legs are curved back behind your head. That was really all they told us to do.
Mhm.
We were supposed to hold our hands on our harness up by our shoulders until our instructor tapped our shoulder and we could kind of open them
Yep.
for a safety thing. And we had to when we were falling out of the plane, initial fall jump, we had to hold our head back and over our shoulders so we didn't slam our instructor's head into the plane. But
Right.
that was it wasn't very intensive at all.
Mm-mm.
So let's walk through that process then. How are you feeling when you get on the plane? You say you've been through this, you've gone full manifestation mode from 3 weeks ago. You were talking to your friends after volleyball, rescheduled. You drove down there. You've been through the safety course, navigated inappropriate comments, and you're going in the plane. Airplane fires up, and I gather they just swirl around in the sky, basically climbing to altitude, right?
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so.
And how are you feeling when that's going on?
I was, like I said, I had more anxiety than Liv did. I was nervous going down there, but during the actual safety video, during the actual harnessing, I was fine. And then Liv mentioned earlier there were 2 planes. A couple of our friends went up first, and then we were in the second plane. And I was fine until I looked up in the sky and someone was like, "Oh, there's the plane." And I could barely see it. It was so small. And then I was like, "That's how high we're going." And I started freaking out then.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just
You're just in the zone.
Yeah. I'm like, if I die, I'm going to be with Jesus. If I don't die, this will be cool. I mean, literally. So I think the only time that I was like, oh my gosh, was right when my feet were at the edge of the plane and I could see
Right before you jumped out?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I could see the whole world. I mean, Kansas City. And then my body was still in the plane. So I'm just looking out over the edge, basically. It's like when you stand on the edge of a cliff, you feel like you're going to fall. Well, we were going to fall.
Yeah,
so that
intentionally.
Right. That was the one moment, I think, of the whole thing where I was like, holy cow. And then we fell out. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So as you jump, did you physically jump?
No.
Or you just kind of just fall forward?
Yeah, he kind of just, actually my feet were suspended. He was like, I don't know. Okay, yeah. I had I was like hanging in the air from him. And then he kind of falls forward and we did a flip, like forward roll, and then we just free falled.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Did you lose your stomach?
No. It's not like a roller coaster because you're reaching terminal velocity. Like it's not immediate changes in speed all the time. You fall initially, you're like, holy cow, in your stomach kind of, and then you're just falling. I felt like I wasn't even falling. It was just kind of like I'm floating and it's super windy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was super strange. Yeah, I wondered about that because I hate that feeling when you're on a roller coaster and you like don't have a stomach for a few seconds. I asked the instructors about that and they told me that I wasn't going to experience that because the plane was already going 150 miles an hour. And so when you fall out of the plane, it's really just a energy shift from horizontal to vertical.
Oh, okay.
And so like we didn't experience that.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual like falling out of the plane part was crazy because that's like I said, that's one of the only times that you're actually like harnessed to the guy.
Yeah.
And so the door to the plane is not very big, maybe like 4 feet by 3 feet or something.
Oh, wow.
And so there's like a lip on the edge of the door that my hands are on my harness and my feet are on the top lip and he's holding my entire weight. And he was like, "You ready to go skydiving?" And I was like, "No." and then he flipped and I don't remember I don't remember the flip. I don't remember anything. I kind of remember seeing like the underside of the plane. And then I like came to or opened my eyes or whatever. And it was just kind of like really windy.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking Kansas City is so small from up here.
Really?
Yeah. Like you're in Kansas City and it feels huge, but then you see it from the sky and you're like, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's so teeny.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you fall out of the plane, you've equalized,
Mm-hmm.
right? You see Kansas City. How long are you falling? And then how long did it feel? And what were you thinking?
Fell for 45 seconds.
45 or 50 seconds. Yeah. It was 8,000 feet in 50 seconds.
Just crazy. It did feel like a long time.
Really?
I felt like I was there forever. I was really cold. I remember that. I didn't feel like, when you jump off a really high cliff, you're like, holy cow. I never really got that except for the initial jump. I never felt like, oh my gosh. I was just kind of like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
It was a little bit underwhelming, if I'm being honest.
Ooh, okay. Hot take.
Yeah. And then he pulls the parachute and you're floating down. And that part was really cool because you could see everything. But we landed and I was kind of like, oh, okay. That's cool. And all my friends were like, I want to get certified. That was the best thing ever. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I didn't feel that way. It was cool, but it wasn't that cool. Yeah. I don't know.
How high are you when they pull the parachute? Can you see everything? Do you have time to think there half hour? Or not say half hour, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
5
So
minutes?
jumped. The plane was at 13,000 feet when we jumped, and then we fell for 8,000 for 50 seconds. So that's 13 minus 8. 5. Yeah, we parachuted for 5,000 feet, and he pulled the cord, and there was like the initial like drop or whatever. And I honestly, I wouldn't have said that it was underwhelming at all. I really enjoyed it. If it were underwhelming, I thought that it was not long enough. Like I felt 50 seconds went really fast.
Really?
Yeah. And so maybe that's just like a difference in how we perceived it, but I thought it went really fast, and I was just like taking it all in. I loved the feeling of free fall. I was just looking at everything. And
Did
then,
it feel like freedom?
I don't know. I don't think so. I just think it was fun. Like,
Did it feel like a Tom Petty song?
Free falling?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I just had like air rushing in my face, in my eyes, and my mouth. I remember like having to close my mouth because it was like going down my throat. But I was just like looking at things, and then they pulled a parachute, and my instructor had me like put my hands on the straps, and I like helped him,
Yeah.
quotation marks.
I didn't get to do that. That would have been
Steer.
cool.
It was pretty cool.
Did it, when you land, or the parachute opens, did it really like crack? Like
Kind
hit
of.
hard and like catch you when the
Kind
parachute
of.
opened?
Everything was just like so fast and intense that I didn't really notice. Like, yes, I remember the harness was kind of like digging into my legs a little bit, and that was kind of painful. But I mean, I don't remember it hurting. I also don't remember it being cold because I was just like, I think just adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a drop, and then we like got a little bit comfortable, and then he pulled another cord to where it was like more comfortable.
Yeah.
Everything's a little bit looser. And then my instructor and I were just chatting. I was like, how many miles can you see? Like just literally just
talking,
talking, thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, not mine. I didn't feel that adrenaline rush. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt like that was really cool. I loved it, but that was not the coolest thing I've ever done.
Okay. But you'd still do it again?
I would do it again.
Yeah.
I think my parents want to do it, so I would do it with them.
That sounds
I
awesome.
do think it is about like the community.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's why I would do it again.
Yep.
So
I mean, play together, stay together.
Yeah.
From a family perspective, for sure. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Again, just because I want to walk through the entire experience. So you free fall, your chute opens, you parachute for 5,000 feet. Was landing like a potato chip on a lake? Did they just slide right into the grass? Did you hit your target? X marks the spot sort of a thing?
yeah, I did. I landed on my butt. He told me, he said, I'll tell you if we're going to land on our feet or on our butt. And he did not tell me, or I didn't hear him.
Yeah.
And so I put my legs up because I didn't know what to do. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, you didn't tell me. And he goes, oh yeah, I forgot. I was like, oh no. But yeah, it was really chill landing. Super smooth. And then, yeah, they unharness you immediately. You stand up, they deal with your parachute, and that's it. Like you can unstrap yourself and you're done.
You get out of your harness, you leave. That part felt really weird because we were all like, okay, I guess we're done. I'll see you on Monday. Like
abrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My landing was he was like, I'll tell you if you are going to stand up, but let's plan on landing on your butt. And so you come in and you're supposed to just like put your legs parallel. I did not have very flexible legs, and the harness was like digging into my legs. And so I could not straighten them. And I was like, if I can't get my legs straightened, we're going to literally face plant.
Yeah.
And I was kind of nervous, and I was trying to straighten them as best I could. And then he was like, okay, stand up. And I was like, oh, perfect. And so I just landed on my feet and like stuck, like, kind of stumbled forward because the parachute's pulling back, whatever. And then, yeah, he like unbuckled me, and then we all like hugged each other, and that was so cool. And then see you Monday.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
It was honestly pretty cool how smoothly they could land, like 13,000 feet up, and then you land exactly right next to the place on your feet, you know?
That's experience, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
For sure.
All right. So looking back on the whole experience, is there anything you would have done differently, or was it perfect as it was? Feel like it was good to go, or?
I would have asked for a different instructor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for comfortability and not feeling awkward or uncomfortable. Yeah. Otherwise, I think the place we went was really good. And
Where'd you go?
Falcon
skydiving right off of 435 in Parkville.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't really change anything. I liked my instructor. I liked the people I was with. We had beautiful weather. I wouldn't change anything. I really enjoyed my experience, and I would definitely do it again.
Any advice you give somebody who's considering their first skydive?
Book it.
Book it.
Just do it.
Wow.
That's good.
How much did this whole thing cost?
It was $170 total. So honestly, cheaper than I would have expected, which is why I say book it. Like, I think it's probably more expensive other places.
And so let's just try to quantify and qualify that. We've quantified it by dollars. What was the total duration in time from the time you from the time you arrived at the facility to the time you left the facility?
3 hours?
I think that's how much they told us to expect. I think it was actually more like an hour 40 to 2 hours.
Total?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, I remember looking at my clock in my car on the way out, and I was like, we haven't even spent 2 hours here.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
So
They did say a lot, way more than you needed, which was nice, to be prepared in that way and then go quicker.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I'm just trying to say from a qualification standpoint, $175 for 3 hours. If you think about how much it costs to go to a Royals game, now granted you're not going to spend that much to go to a Royals game, but it's X number of dollars to park. And then you're spending all that time. If you're playing golf, it's $100 to play a round of golf for about that same period of time, so if you're getting a massage,
I wouldn't compare skydiving to these things, though.
Well, no, but I'm just, if you're trying to compare quality and paying for entertainment and paying for certain things, $175 may sound like a lot to some people. It may not sound like very much to others. And so, just depending on how you choose to spend your money, I guess
think
is
it's
what I'm trying
justifiable for what you get to do.
The experience is worth it.
Yeah.
The juice is worth the proverbial squeeze.
Yes, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now that you've done it, do you think skydiving is something you'd want to do again? Yeah.
Actually, one of our friends that went with us, there were like 7 of us that went. I don't think we said that. One of our friends is already collecting names for going again. But
Really?
we've kind of established we're going to go again when we are older and maybe have our actual jobs that we're working towards and we're not broke anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I probably will do it again at some point.
Like I said, I would go again, but
That's awesome. All right. Well, any last words for our third chair members here?
Book it.
Book it.
yeah, it's so fun.
All right. You heard it here, folks. All right. This has been the Son of the Law podcast. Hope you guys all have a good day.